Thanks. My name's Bruce Warner and I'm from ABB in Geneva. I'll be talking to you about this electric bus, the e-bus that we've developed, the TOSA bus. So let me get my notes out. Excuse me, the context within which we did this development. We're seeing a big increase in urbanization. The expectation is that by the middle of the century, there are going to be more people living in cities than in rural areas for the first time in humanity. The traffic congestions that are growing, I mean, we're in London, don't need to say too much more about that here. The public health has become an increasingly big concern. The World Health Organization classified the CO2 emissions from diesel engines as carcinogenic. It's becoming increasingly important to have high flexibility and high efficiency vehicles. So the TOSA project, what is that? Essentially, it's an electrical bus which runs without the overhead wires. So the two pictures you see, I mean, we photoshopped the two. The one on your left is a trolley bus in Geneva with overhead wires, and then the one on the right without the overhead wires. It's emission-free, so flexible and easy to deploy, which are some of the advantages you get from diesel. But we also get the advantages that you have from the electric on the other side, that it's silent and we don't have any CO2 emissions in the city. In terms of cost, we sit between the cost of a trolley and the cost of a diesel, so at this early stage it's already very competitive. Then the name is derived from the four partners, and those are the logos that you see. The TPG is the public transport operator in Geneva. The OPI is the Office for Promoting of Industry, a governmental organization. The SIG is the electricity utility in Geneva, and A is ABB, who I'm representing. So one of the key successes to the success we've achieved so far, I think, is having the partnerships. For us on the development side, it is really key to get input from the users, from the utility. I mean, I think that's helped us come up with a better product. So how does it work? What we do is that the bus runs along, and at every third or fourth stop, it does what we call a flash charge. So it gets a boost, like a very high current boost, 15 seconds. And we've chose 15 seconds because that's the time that the operators say to us, well, we can maintain our schedule with that time. We can tolerate a stop of that length. And it does a few of those stops, and the green curve, if you follow that, that explains the state of charge in the battery. So it goes along, say, to the third stop, like the third dot there, does a flash, and then gets a peak, and then carries on riding and gets another boost. These flash charges don't take you back to 100%, but what they do allow you is that when you get to the end of the line, to be able to recharge in an acceptable time. So one of the keys to operating the bus lines is the timing of things. And that's partly because half the cost, at least in Western Europe, of running these bus lines is the driver's salary. And if you've got to stay longer at the end of your line to recharge, and then you'd have to insert another bus, the whole idea is not feasible. What we also benefit from here is that we've got a small battery. So the idea is that you transport batteries and not people. And the more weight you have in batteries, the less people you can have. That's one of your constraints. Now, some of the key technologies that have enabled us to do that, the first is the battery. So that allows these very high charging rates. And we've also got an arm on the roof, which is guided by a laser, and that makes an automatic connection. The bus drivers don't like to have other things to worry about. Now, where we are, so in May 2013, we were honored to have Mrs. Leuthard opening our first demonstrator line in Geneva. So it's running in a short section between the airport and an exhibition center. And now, within a month or two, we hope to have a contract to do a complete line in Geneva. Looking beyond Geneva, we think the time is right for electric vehicles. The technology is there, the political will is there, and it really makes a lot of sense, especially against cars. I mean, we're not chasing high range. We know where we're going, and we know where we need to stop. So the future is looking bright. I hope then that my presence here has been able to firstly promote sustainable mobility, promote cooperation and innovation between Switzerland and the UK, And lastly, to generate interest in the project, I hope that we're going to be seeing some of these systems running in the UK. Thanks for your attention.